Live from KXAN, this is a severe weather alert from the First Warning Weather Center.
That severe weather alert this morning, parts of 4 Central Texas counties waking up under a flash flood warning after seeing more than half a foot of rain overnight.
That's a lot. It's promoting a lot of flood and safety concerns in our eastern counties. Kristen is here to give us an idea of how long it's going to last.
This flash flood warning that we have mainly for Fayette County is going to continue for the next several hours, not until 7 a.m. as this have an expiration date on it. So let's get you to it, because you'll notice radar shows, yes, we've got rain in the Austin metro. Most of that is on the light to moderate side, though. It will slow down your morning drive, but the biggest concern right now for dangerous and life-threatening flooding will be out in Fayette County. So some of us in Bastrop, Lee, Caldwell County got the flash flood alert overnight, but you'll notice it's only a little sliver of you guys. That's not where we've seen the heaviest of the rain. That actually is centered out over Fayette County. Fayette County has received over the last 48 hours anywhere from 8 to 10.5 inches in 48 hours. That is an extreme amount of rainfall, and it's still raining. So that's why that flash flood warning is going to take us to 7 a.m. As a reminder for those of our friends out in Fayette County, turn around, don't drown. Shelter in place until you are told to evacuate, and you want to stay away from creeks, rivers, streams. I mean, we likely have everything swollen out there with how much rain has fallen. Now, in addition to the rain and the flooding concerns, fog has not gone away. This is still in the conversation this morning, with another dense fog advisory in place for almost all of our area until 10 a.m. Visibility is rough. I noticed this coming into work this morning. It's just as bad as it was yesterday out towards Hays County, Marble Falls, Fredericksburg, Burnham. Right now here in the city, not quite as thick, but we'll watch that. In addition to the visibility issues, we've got slick streets out there because of the overnight rain. So we can anticipate the morning drive to be a bit messy this morning. Here's our Indeed domain camera. You can see the glare off the roads because of the wet weather that has been with us over the last several hours. Temperatures, though, not an issue. We're going to be in the 50s. There is a lot going on in your forecast today. More storms, more showers, and increased flooding risk, but there is a dry trend on the way for the later part of the week, and more so this weekend. More on that in your First Warning forecast.
Thank you, Chris. And we also want to show you this. This is a live look out on the roads this morning, where you can see it is raining along Highway 71. This is eastbound, as we have our crew on the way out to Fayette County, where they've seen all that rain and that flash flood warning. We're going to be checking in with them in just a little bit.
Remember, we have gotten several days of rain, and it's led to low water crossings that are closed here in Central Texas that you can see on ATX floods. We have that for you behind us as well. Burnett, Williamson, Travis, Hays, Bastrop, Fayette, and Caldwell counties, all experiencing some kind of high water.
Okay, let's turn now to politics. The other big story this morning, former President Donald Trump is the projected winner of the New Hampshire Republican primary, and he is another step closer to securing the Republican presidential nomination.
However, his lone remaining rival, former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley, is vowing to stay in the race. NBC's Hallie Jackson reports from New Hampshire.
He now becomes the only Republican non-incumbent to win both Iowa and New Hampshire. With the win, some momentum at his back now, heading into the rest of this primary season. He is hoping essentially to get this primary race over with and turn his attention to the general election. But Nikki Haley tonight is promising to fight on. She is pledging that she will be in the race in South Carolina. That's what she's looking to. Even looking ahead to those Super Tuesday states in early March, seeking to prolong this primary race, essentially, making the case that this is not a coronation for former President Trump. We're going to have a lot more on the state of the race and where this goes next.
Okay. As voters cast ballots in New Hampshire, Democrats are reminding their base that abortion is on the ballot in 2024.
Yeah, this week at a Biden rally, there was a focus on abortion, and an Austin woman suing Texas spoke at that event. Amanda Zarowski says she was denied an abortion while experiencing life-threatening complications.
My doctor would be at risk of loss of her license or even jail time. I was told to wait. I had to wait until I got so sick that my life was considered in danger. My family flew in from across the country for fear that I wouldn't pull through.
The event comes as a new ad from the Biden campaign featuring another Texas woman who was denied an abortion after learning the child that she was carrying had a deadly diagnosis. Our Monica Madden breaks down the messaging on the issue.
Every woman's worst nightmare.
A new re-election ad for President Joe Biden is focused on abortion bans like in Texas.
At a routine ultrasound, I learned that the fetus would have a fatal condition and that there was absolutely no chance of survival.
The Biden campaign tying the law with the president's likely opponent.
In Texas, you are forced to carry that pregnancy, and that is because of Donald Trump overturning Roe v. Wade.
It's an issue Democrats are betting big on.
When I'm elected to the U.S. Senate, we will codify Roe v. Wade and go back to allowing women to make their own health care decisions in consultation with their faith, their family, and their doctors, not politicians.
Texas Republicans have been hesitant to weigh in on whether exceptions to the law should be expanded.
There's an important conversation going on between the voters in the various states and their elected representatives about where the lines should be drawn.
I think that Republicans sort of underestimated how galvanizing of an issue it was going to be.
Caroline Vakil, a campaign reporter with The Hill, points to Democrats' successes on the ballot in other states since the fall of Roe.
And I think both parties are trying to paint the other as extreme. But I think in this case, we're starting to see which side resonates a little bit more with voters.
But notes it's not the highest ranking issue for voters, with polls showing the economy and immigration topping the list in Texas. Monica Madden, KXAN News.
Now, with a conservative supermajority, there is little likelihood that Texas lawmakers are going to be walking back this near total abortion ban. Any changes would have to come from Congress and the White House.
A bit of good news this morning. The Austin ISD police officer who was injured during last month's shooting spree is back to work, back on the job, doing what he loves. The school district's police department posted pictures on social media of Sergeant Val Barnes and posted that he returned to work this week. Police say the shooting spree suspect shot Barnes in December while he was doing a daily check of Northeast Early College High School in North Austin. APD says the gunman shot and killed 6 people in all and injured 3 others. Why? You will see the flags flying at half-staff today.
And where officers are going to be devoting more of their attention in order to help protect you as growth in one Central Texas city is leading to how the city is going to patrol its streets.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to KXAN News today on this Wednesday, January the 24th, as I take another live look outside, this time from the Indeed camera we have looking at the Domain Q2 Stadium. The lights going on right there, and fog in the distance that you need to watch out for. A Travis County Sheriff's deputy has been cleared in a use of force case where the deputy shot and killed a man.
This happened back in 2022 in Elgin. When state troopers arrived at a home, they found the bodies of 2 people involved in a shooting. Investigators say Deputy Neil Riley shot and killed Rito Paul Morales, who was a retired state trooper who was then identified as the suspect. Also this morning, a North Texas man is one of 2 Navy SEALs presumed dead. It's after the pair disappeared off the coast of Somalia nearly 2 weeks ago. The Defense Department says that 27-year-old Nathan Gage Ingram was from Trophy Club. Officials say Ingram and Chris Chambers fell overboard. They were trying to stop a small ship suspected of trafficking arms to Houthi rebels in Yemen. Governor Greg Abbott ordering flags here in Texas to be flown at half-staff until sunset tonight. Still ahead, just how far investigators say this man went to try and make people believe he was an Austin police officer. Good morning. It is early on this Wednesday morning, and this is a live look over downtown Austin. You can see rain on the lens of our camera, fog in the sky, and a whole lot falling in our eastern counties. We're going to have a live report coming up in just a bit. First, though, we are learning more about the Central Texas man behind bars this morning, accused of pretending to be an Austin police officer for years.
Yeah, now police are hoping to connect with drivers he may have pulled over. Nabil Bermadna has the story.
Take a good look at these photos. He has never been a commissioned peace officer in the state of Texas. This man, who police have identified as 35-year-old Sean Michael McDonald, is not an APD officer. but investigators say he's been posing as one since at least 2020.
And we can understand that the public is going to have some concern, obviously. The uniform is pretty accurate. If you've ever had any type of contact with an awesome police officer, you know that's what we wear.
APD says it's not hard to find patches or uniform online. According to the arrest report, he was posing in the gear on social media. On the day APD officer Jorge Pastor was killed, he posted on Instagram, "Rest easy, brother. We got it from here." The arrest report also pointed out text conversations. In one, he said, quote, he arrested the suspect who shot an AISD officer. He went on to say he beat him up and put him in the patrol car. The report also pointed out that his dating profile picture was him in an APD shirt.
By our policy, we are to provide you with our name and badge number, and the public can follow up with the PIO office to confirm that.
Following a review of texts and social media, police were able to track McDonald down.
Did some surveillance and were able to observe him yesterday, conducted a traffic stop, and were able to take him into custody without any incident.
He's facing charges of false identification of a police officer. Nabil Ramadna, KXAN News.
Thank you, Nabil. McDonald currently faces a Class B misdemeanor charge, but police say if he is found doing other things that he could face even more charges. That's why they're asking people to come forward. If he issued you a traffic ticket, if he handcuffed someone or removed them from their vehicle, that's when that charge can go higher.
The Round Rock Express wants to hear your voice. The team looking for people talented enough to sing at a notoriously difficult event and challenging song.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars.
All right, solo acts or groups of 10 or less encouraged to audition early next month to sing the national anthem. It's for the upcoming 2024 Express season. This is video from previous years, the previous auditions. They're looking to fill about 50 spots. If you think you've got what it takes, there are workshops that lead up to audition day. So Sally, we should sign up for one of those workshops.
No, thank you. It takes courage to even get up there and try.
I know.
And then those judges are just looking at you, just
and
staring at
to know that you're being videotaped and potentially blasted on the news.
For years and years to come.
That is quite the thrill and risk that people are taking on there, Kristen.
Absolutely. All right, let's get you down to the weather here because I'm continuing to monitor the situation in our eastern counties, and it just doesn't look good. We've seen too much rain in too short amount of time. No problems in the hill country. Austin Metro, we're seeing some light to moderate rain right now, but I have not seen any flooding concerns for us. Where we have the potential to see some big problems is out in our eastern counties, Fayette County in particular. Here's LaGrange, here's Cistern, here's Flatonia. Now, this flood warning does include a very small portion of Bastrop, Lee, and Caldwell County, the extreme portions of those counties. That includes things like Kovar here. Those in that area, you're included, but most of the concerns are right here in Fayette County. The blue color you see underneath the radar is actually that flash flood warning that continues for the next 2.5 hours. So the rainfall that we've already seen is enough to flood. The problem is we've got rain falling on top of this, continued showers and storms making a bad situation worse. I mean, look at some of these rainfall totals over the last 48 hours. This is mind-boggling. This is tropical-like rainfall that we've seen in a matter of 2 days. I mean, closing in on a foot of rainfall in between LaGrange and Flatonia. That is an extreme amount of rain, and we're very concerned about the fact that there's going to be roads out there completely submerged. Our flash flood watch continues until noon today for our eastern counties. We do have that flash flood warning, like I said, in place for mostly Fayette County until 7 a.m., but the rains are going to continue. In addition to the flooding concern, I'm worried about the visibility out there because really there are some areas yesterday that did not see any sort of reprieve from the fog, and we're still looking at low visibility out there. Burnett, Marble Falls, Fredericksburg, Dripping Springs, And you factor in the fact that it's raining, so it's not only tough to see, but we're also seeing those very slick conditions. Dense fog advisory continues until 10 a.m. Today we've got temperatures in the 50s with that 70% chance of widespread storms and showers. Here's a new update though. One, I think this is going to stretch a little bit further into the Austin metro than what I was showing you yesterday. This is going to continue for your morning commute. Lunchtime, still tracking storms and showers, maybe a little lull in activity late this afternoon, but here's the big but. I've got a couple high-resolution models showing yet another push of heavy rain as we get into tonight, meaning we could be looking at some problems still with some flooding concerns tomorrow morning. Most of our high-resolution models have another 1/2 inch to 2.5 inches of rain on top of what we've seen over the last couple of days. And for many of us, that's already over 3 to 5 inches, especially out in our eastern counties. If you're curious about your rainfall total, KXAN.com, the rainfall amounts you see underneath the weather tab, those are just going to be your 24-hour total, so it doesn't account for the heavy rain we had on Monday. But the bottom line here is there's going to be some areas here in Central Texas that just can't hold any more water. And the reason is we've been hit back to back with these rounds of storms. We haven't really had enough dry time between those rounds to allow everything to soak in. So we still have a flash flood threat today, 2 out of 4, mainly in our eastern counties here. A very low severe storm threat for today, too. That's going to be in our far southeast, so bottom of Caldwell, Bastrop, and Fayette County. Same concerns as yesterday, hail and wind. But still a very active weather day today with potential for dangerous flooding. We'll continue early tomorrow morning to watch those flooding concerns. A couple spotty showers left over Friday, and then we're good to go. We've got sunshine, temperatures in the 60s this weekend and to beyond next week, trending actually much quieter than what we have this week. Now, we are not the only state bracing for heavy rain. This came from the west, and as floodwaters recede, San Diego is now surveying the damage caused by Monday's powerful storm. Nearly 3 inches of rain fell in some parts of the region. It was the wettest January day ever recorded in the city since 1951. Now, the San Diego mayor says they've declared a state of emergency. They've been doing hundreds of high water rescues. Some roads remain impassable. Cars washed away by those floodwaters, some even abandoned. Throughout the city, the region of the impact of the storm is clearly visible. That storm that hit San Diego moving east, it will bring rain and snow to portions of Utah, Nevada, Colorado, and New Mexico.
Thank you, Kristen. Back here at home, Travis County leaders say about 40% of people in the county jail have a mental health diagnosis. County says it is making some progress getting its mental health diversion program off the ground. The goal is to address behavioral health conditions and reduce recidivism. The crisis care diversion pilot includes a 25-bed facility that's going to have therapeutic care for adults. It'll also offer a walk-in mental health care clinic for people who need psychiatric emergency services. Travis County Judge Andy Brown says progress is behind where he'd like it to be, adding there are a lot of community members who want to weigh in.
I think the good part of all of this is nobody is saying we don't need a mental health diversion center. Everybody is saying, yes, absolutely, we need this. We need it as soon as possible. And it's the finding out the exact details of it that are taking a little bit of time.
And Brown also added that he hopes the pilot program will be up and running in the next few months.
The CEO of Alaska Airlines voicing frustration talking to NBC News, and he says that he believes Boeing gave the airline a plane with a faulty door. It comes in the wake of that January 5th mid-air emergency involving a door plug blowout on an Alaska flight. Per the order from the FAA to the ground, all 737 MAX 9s for inspection. Alaska and United, the two carriers who operate the planes in their fleets, are having to cancel hundreds of flights every single day. Tom Costello reports now from inside a grounded Boeing 737 MAX 9 in Seattle ahead of this morning's Today exclusive interview with the Alaska Airlines CEO.
Good morning. We are on board an Alaska Airlines MAX 9, one of the many MAX 9s nationwide grounded, undergoing inspections because of that door plug that blew out on the plane more than 2 weeks ago. There are 4 bolts that are supposed to secure this door plug to the fuselage. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the question is, did the bolts ever exist in the first place on the door plug that blew out? Just moments ago, the CEO of Alaska Airlines told us in an exclusive interview that they have found many bolts that are loose as they've done their inspections. Coming up on the Today Show, we're going to hear from the CEO why he's angry with Boeing. He says it's just inexcusable that they would have received a door plug from Boeing with a defect like this, and what he's promising airline customers nationwide with hundreds of flights still canceled every single day. That's coming up on Today.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
Good morning to you. Longhorns coming off that emotional last-second win over Baylor on Saturday, trying to back it up with a big road win as they travel to Norman, Oklahoma to take on 11th-ranked OU. Sooners moving up 4 spots in the polls. And Texas, well, showing a lot of fight last night. Dylan Dessou, the block shot, and then Kendall Weaver scores a season-high 11, gives Texas a 9-point lead. OU calls a timeout. Then they get it going. John Hughley, the big slam, a 17-2 run, and Sooners are back in it. In fact, they led at the half. Second half, Asmus going inside, contact and bucket for Max, who played his college ball for 4 years in Tulsa at Oral Roberts before transferring. I.T. Horton, the 3, Longhorns up by 8. And then, scary right there, Caden Shedrick gets hit from behind. That was a flagrant foul on the back that has caused him so much trouble. He steps up, hits the free throws, but then he was done for the rest of the game. Here come the Sooners. Just over 12 minutes to go. Jalen Moore ties it at 52, so started over in Asmus. Deep 3 right there. He continues to climb the record books. He's now 15th all-time NCAA scoring another 3 to take it out to a 6-point lead. And the Longhorns then go to Dessou, who goes deep twice. The bucket right there, and then the mid-range right here. That's the dagger. He had 19 and 10. Longhorns win their 6th straight against OU, 5th straight in Norman. Huge road win to get to 500 in conference play.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a good feeling. Being a road team, it's not too many people cheering for us. It's just us, and we understand that. And so we were really connected tonight, and to see that, is a good feeling.
Now back on the road to play BYU Saturday. BYU lost at home last night to Houston. Tonight at Moody, UT women take on Oklahoma. That's at 6 o'clock. Back to you.
Thank you, Roger. How half a world away, a pair of Austin teenagers are making a difference.